Hey everyone, we are back for another week of exciting rehearsals. This week we are talking everything WGI 2024 Winds and Percussion Championships, and we'll also figure out what made Austin say,
I didn't have to deal with what Callie dealt with. I'm sure she probably had to help pull the floor and all that stuff after, so she probably got home a little bit later than me.
and why Callie said,
is just a kicker. I don't know, and pun intended with the balls. But it is just, I love it. I think that they do things that nobody else does.
all this and more, so get out on the field and we will see you back on the sidelines for this week's episode of On a Water Break.
8 off the mat and go. Welcome to On a Water Break, the podcast where we talk everything marching arts.
Everyone, bring it in. It's time for a water break.
Welcome to another episode of Season 2 of On a Water Break, the podcast where we talk about everything you and your friends are talking about at rehearsal on a water break. This is Steve McCarrick, and we have finally made it to WGI Percussion Week after a hugely successful week of On a Water Break with WGI Color Guard Championships. If you missed any of those live streams or shows, go check us out on YouTube. Check out our social media for the amazing interviews you missed. And check out these new interviews coming out this week, still to be released. But if you are listening to this now, the week it comes out, you are either on your way to Dayton, in Dayton, waiting for Dayton to begin, or you're just an avid fan of the podcast and you're listening to us at home and you want to hear these deep dives into winds and percussion. But either way, we've got it all for you this week. So before we get into it, I want to get into who's on the sidelines. And we've got a lot of interesting, exciting folks with us today. For starters, we've got Callie back with us again. How you doing, Callie?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Yeah. And final rehearsals, they're wrapping up. You guys must be about to leave for Dayton, I'm guessing, right?
Yes, yeah. Infinity Percussion leaves today. I think our send-off time is actually 7 p.m. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you guys have to, you're probably a little further than United is then. That makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you guys drive or do you fly?
We drive, so we get a charter bus for each ensemble, and we stuff everything in there and we get going.
Nice. Yeah, that's a long drive. I remember like being in high school and thinking that my 10-hour drive to Dayton was a lot, but that is
Oh my gosh.
surely light work compared to what you guys put up with in Florida.
Oh yeah, I don't know the exact time. I can't remember, even though I've done it so many times, but it feels like forever. Oh my gosh.
Well, we'll get back to that in a minute. I want to hear a little bit more about what's been going on over at Infinity these last couple weeks, but we've also got Joey with us. Joey, how you doing?
Pretty good. I'm surviving.
I could imagine. You've got a lot of different groups competing these last couple weeks. I believe you had a couple at Color Guard, maybe a couple coming out this week as well. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on with you?
So got some color guards this past weekend. They did well. Some of them, it's great to be able to say that they had their best performances on the Idiom's biggest stage. So we're very excited about that. Highest placing shows in the organization's history. So we're very excited about that. Going into this weekend, I've got a couple of percussion groups and taking 2 winds groups this year. So I'm just really happy. Yeah, dude, it's been quite the season, and I'm holding on. I've got a single thread, but we're gonna make it happen.
That's crazy. I couldn't imagine running all those different ensembles would be so difficult. Shout out to you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's a labor of love, I think. But at the end of the day, I think it's all worth it, and we're gonna make it happen.
Awesome. Well, good luck to you with your group still yet to compete. We'll get back into them in a little bit here. But Austin, how you doing, man? Happy to have you on the show.
Hey, I am super tired. We had FFCC championships last night. I don't think I got home till about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I didn't have to deal with what Callie dealt with. I'm sure she probably had to help pull the floor and all that stuff after, so she probably got home a little bit later than me.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, we had a great day yesterday. Had a great run. Just kind of prepping for Dayton, getting ready to go with the Horizon Winds.
Nice. Yeah, it's crazy that you guys are all the way till like the wee hours of the morning down for your regional championships in Florida. We just wrapped ours up, but maybe our circuit's a little smaller up here. We were done by like 7 p.m. on Saturday.
Yeah, I wish. That was
not Monday.
weird scheduling things happen this year, but what can you do? We made it work. Kids performed really well, and we're ready to hop on a plane on Thursday. So I will be very happy to not drive up to Ohio. Yeah, don't want to do
Nice.
that.
I've been doing so much flying, but this year I'm driving. I'm driving again. I want to make the road trip of it. And also, we should have my good friend Woody. Woody should be here, but it seems like he's caught up in rehearsal. Maybe we'll get Woody in a little bit here. But as we get started now, let's hop into some news for this week. I want to talk about WGI Percussion, but I have something crazy that I need to share with you guys first. Let's get into the news. All right, cool. Usually I like to be real polite, real kind to the guests, put our guests first, but I can't wait to tell you guys this story. So I had the best gig that I think I might ever have with the Eagles drumline. WrestleMania came to Philadelphia, and it was playing at the Lincoln Financial Field, which is, that's the Eagles stadium. And then they ended up giving us the gig to go out there during WrestleMania and perform in the actual, well, we were standing right outside the ring. The cheerleaders and Swoop were in the ring. But we needed to do a big drum roll to announce our special guest for the evening who we were performing with, which was Snoop Dogg. So
What?
That's awesome.
So for anyone out there wondering what life after aging out is like, you should go do an NFL drumline. You're going to find cool gigs pop up, especially if you're into like your local team or something like I am. I'm a huge Eagles fan. Like, there is nothing cooler than the types of opportunities that you get doing professional drumline. So anyone, Callie, you're probably about to age out. Are you?
I am. Yeah, this is my age out.
It does not all end at aging out. I used to be so sad. I thought it was all over for me. It is not. There's still places to go with it.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
It was awesome. They also brought the mummers out. I know we've done some more talking about mummers and stuff, but it was kind of cool to see like at this huge pay-per-view event, like they brought 2 marching ensembles out and did marching band not once, but twice at WrestleMania, basically. So just some cool exposure. It was really neat to see that in my own city. Anyway, though, Callie, what do you got for us in the news this week?
Yeah, so there was this really cool opportunity for some of the all-girls students at St. Mary's Academy in New Orleans. They had a all-girls marching band, and they were actually featured on the Today Show. So it's super cool to see, especially women in the marching arts, being featured on such a wide, national television opportunity. And that's something I think we are all a little bit more passionate about these days, getting girls and women into the marching arts. So that was awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. When was that Today Show performance?
It looks like it says April 12th, so it was pretty recent. They did a feature on them. It's an awesome video. I'm sure we can link it in the show notes. Everybody should go check that out. The students were able to kind of perform in a parade, and they featured them on the show.
Nice. Yeah, that's so cool. I actually, it's really ironic. I don't mean to bring it back towards me, but Eagles Drumline also performed on the Today Show on April 1st. We were doing an Autism Foundation event with like some Eagles players and the cheerleaders doing clinics with autistic children. Wow. So like,
that's awesome.
Today Show is really doing a lot to put on the marching arts so far this month.
Fantastic. We need that.
Yeah, it's so cool. And I feel like you see it all across the board. Marching arts stuff is getting really popular in like America's Got Talent too. Anyway, though, let's move along here. Joey, what do you got for us this week?
So I got 2. One of them is the unfortunate news about AMP going into finals or not going into finals Saturday night because of some food poisoning and the whole team being down. I think that's such a hard decision for the staff and the students to make, and for them to put the student experience first and honestly health first. I think was the right decision. I could not imagine being in the room making that happen. So
yeah.
that was tough to watch, and I hope all the listeners can send out their support for the organization, because that's a tough thing to do. That was hard to see.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Jeremy, and I'm just going to jump in because I was there, obviously, at Color Guard Championships, and it was hard. And I'm going to speak from the fact that we were in the room when AMP was supposed to be going on, and there was definitely an absence of just feeling, and the audience, sort of quietly demanding like their semifinals performance be played on the big screen, and we all thought like that maybe happened, but it did all happen very, very, very quickly. We did a live on Instagram with Bobby from Show Day, who's very close with the director. It's actually his roommate. So we had some information there. It was a lot for the performers. They actually weren't the only ones. I think it was Tampa Independent, I actually believe, or somebody else. Also, like half of their performers in semis were like not okay. It basically happened, but somewhere between prelims and semis is when the entire like disease or whatever came over. We're not ruling out sabotage by the spaghetti warehouse. No, just kidding. So anyway, it's sad. It's it's upsetting, but it does tell you, it goes back to that old adage that us as instructors and directors are constantly telling our kids, you never know when it's your final performance.
Yeah.
You are just never going to know. And you have to make sure that you're prepared, for it to be your final performance, for you to have one more. And that's it. Could be an injury, could be something like this where it was more than half of the color guard was sick, and like several kids were in the hospital. So This was like, beyond just normal sort of stuff. So our hearts go out to them. They were missed. Everybody in the arena missed them. You could feel it. But we did get some really great performances that night. And, as the activity moves forward, I'm sure, they will get to come back next year and be just as, amazing as they've always been. So just wanted to jump in and give you all a little bit of more, insight to it that, we sort of had. But I will launch it back to the percussion. We can jump out of color guard land.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to have plenty of time to talk about color guard immediately after percussion. We're going to have some more good content coming your way soon.
Heck yeah.
So it's such a shame. That's my heart certainly goes out to AMP. I couldn't imagine if something like that were to happen over at United. Knock wood.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, let's wrap up here. Austin, what do you have for us this week?
Yeah, so GQ actually did a awards dinner, and they incorporated the marching arts. And I was looking at some of the pictures a little bit earlier today, and they really incorporated like style, and GQ is like a big style fashion thing, and just the way they incorporated the marching arts and all of it was really, really cool. I actually got a lot of great costume ideas for maybe the future, to kind of be like, hey, this is kind of what this looks like. How can we evolve the activity, make it kind of more contemporary, or just maybe coming up with a couple of unique show ideas. So hop on GQ, check out that article. I think we'll link it in the show notes, and go get some ideas for yourself. But just being able to see a lot of incorporation of the marching arts in like real life outside of like our little social circles and everything is super cool, because we all wish for exposure going into like real life, and it's really hard to explain what we do, and being able to get it on like a mainstream kind of shtick is a really good thing. And looking at the pictures, the instruments, they're actually holding them pretty correctly. I was impressed. It looks good. Like that photo shoot was like awesome.
It's actually pretty crazy. I didn't realize till I clicked in. This involved Erykah Badu. That's wild.
Yeah.
She's like mysterious, and she's excellent. Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of the same stuff we were talking about in our stories with the Today Show and with WrestleMania as well, where like there's a little bit of a cultural current putting marching band and drumline into like the front stage of regular pop culture, which is pretty cool. It's been a long time coming for that. Quick aside, if we if there was one drum corps or drum line that you think like should be modeling for GQ, like who do you guys think would be that ensemble? I feel like the old school original Bluecoats uniform with the helmet, with the big cape and everything is like straight up GQ. Should just be in the mag.
Oh yeah.
There's gotta be some other good ones.
Definitely.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like who should be wearing it. Like which drum corps is like, I guess at that point, the cutest? I don't know.
No, I'm saying who's got the best style, but thanks. Yes. Oh,
in that case, I'm going Cavaliers. I'm going Cavaliers.
Okay, that's good. I like that too.
I've really enjoyed the Scott Chandler uniforms over at BD, and I feel like a collaboration between that and seeing what they can do with how creative that team is. I think them doing a fashion show like essentially Philanesque again, Philanesque-esque would be dope.
Dude, you're right. That would actually be so cool. A BD fashion show would be awesome.
Like super meta.
I know I'm not a color guard person, but I think that throwing it back to my home team, I think the Boston Crusaders color guard could just like throw down in a photo shoot.
Allowed, Callie. I'll allow it.
Thank you. They are some of my favorite people in the activity, and oh my gosh, do they just, the way they move their bodies is just incredible. And I really think they would be awesome for something like that.
All right, well, GQ, I know the executives at GQ listen to the show every week, so get on it. All right, we're going to pop out to a quick commercial, but get back with us here soon. We got to load the bus and get out to Dayton.
Hey everyone, it's Jeremy, and here are your announcements coming from the box. You want to drink up On a Water Break Lost in Translation with Cynthia Bernard. Uncover the glitz and glamour of Twirlers with On a Water Break in Rhinestones, hosted by Lexi Duda. Get the insider scoop from the stands with On a Water Break from the stands with Cindy Berry, aka Leander Mama, and join the band family in On a Water Break family style with Stephanie Click, plus much, much more to come. Make sure to follow us on social media at On a Water Break for all the latest updates and bonus content. Got something to share or a burning question? Email us at onawaterbreakpodcast@gmail.com. So don't be the person that doesn't tell their friends about a water break. Make sure everyone stays hydrated. Okay, field staff, take it away.
Let's reset.
All right, everyone. It's time to dive a little bit deeper into who we're excited to see live in Dayton this week. So let's start off. Let's just get one quick pick of someone you're excited to see. And Callie, you're not allowed to say Infinity, but who are you excited to see?
Okay, so my first pick is actually RCC. I know that's like not like super common, or maybe that's controversial. I don't know.
That was also going to be my pick. Damn it! I need to quickly think.
Okay,
no, go ahead.
I am such a huge RCC fan. I think last time I was on here, I was able to talk about Rhythm X a little bit, who I also love. But RCC just does such, I think, incredible and innovative things. And their show this season, I think, is just a kicker. I don't know, and pun intended with the balls. But it is just, I love it. I think that they do things that nobody else does. And I think this year they're a little underrated. So I'm rooting for them. I really am.
I keep thinking the same thing. Like, to me, RCC does such a good job every year of being genuinely artistic and different.
Yes.
Like, I think I even said this last time we had this conversation, but they're like never derivative of another group. They're never trying to copy a trend that they think is doing well in the activity. Like, this year I'm just excited just to see what they're doing, because they have this whole like trippy aesthetic. I've only seen lot performances, but like I think that it's going to be a big show for me.
Yeah, they are like unapologetically themselves, and I think that is just so important in this activity.
Yeah.
You know, you like you said, like they don't follow the trends. They create something new and unique and innovative every single year, and that is just so important to keeping this activity alive and fresh.
Mm-hmm. And they just like, they really make art of it, like that. Not all, it's all art, but RCC is very artful in their approach to the activity.
I love them. I'm a huge fan.
Me too. I'm gonna have to spend some time thinking about my new options, since we just took RCC right away. Joey, what are you excited about?
So on the Winds realm, I'm excited to see Vaquero. I think the aesthetic is so beautiful, and I've really fought to not watch the show throughout the season. So I've kept like my flow marching account as far away from it as possible, because you know, every time that we see them in Dayton, it's such a beautiful. I mean, they play so beautifully and they move so well, and so to see that in its full idea and its full vision, I think is something I'm the most looking forward to on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. That's my pick.
Nice. Yeah, you're a little bit more nestled into the wind scene than I am, and we were just talking about how like in percussion, there is some groups might be trying to do what they think they need to get a gold medal. Other groups are like really trying to forge their own identity and be something different. In winds, since it's more new relatively, do you think there's more of that like new earth being like shed by these groups, where they're figuring out new stuff, and each year there's like leaps forward in what winds is?
I definitely think so. Maybe Austin and I can tag team this question. I think we're still trying to figure out what winds is. You know, is it marching band inside? Is it theater? Is it choir? Is our guitars allowed? You know, at the end of the day, like it's so new. It can be anything, and I think that's the beautiful thing. Like, watching groups like Valhalla and Horizon do so many cool things with aesthetics and props, and then watching groups like Eva that have a monochromatic aesthetic, and they're just going. Like those kids, the Eva kids are just running around and doing band to the fullest, and like seeing Vaquero's aesthetic and knowing what that staff can have their kids do. Everybody's got their own take of what Winds is, and it's exciting to see it all culminate together to make just a beautiful show that you can sit through 4 hours of band. Awesome.
No, that's actually so interesting to think about. Like for these new directors in that space, you really get to define what this competitive landscape is, because it's so fresh. Yeah. That's kind of cool. Austin, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, that's Joey got it exactly right. The way that I kind of see it is that there's certain groups that are just doing the whole marching, and we're just marching and playing as traditional marching band, and there's other group, and they're still pushing the envelope with that, which is awesome, and they're finding new ways to do things underneath like really technical passages, and they're really pushing that space. But then there's other groups that are out there and trying to make it more theatrical. So sometimes like you're sometimes you're comparing apples to oranges, and they're going right up against each other, and that's kind of the beauty of Winds, is that it's the Wild West. There's no rules.
Literally.
There's no rules. And that's kind of the way the Winds realm has been designed from the advisory board and all that stuff, which is really great. They've done a fantastic job at like not saying like, oh, you can't do this, can't do this, can't do this, can't do this, because we want the freedom to be as creative as we possibly can with as less limitation as possible. Of course, you have your typical boundaries and props and all that stuff, but there's no rules on whether or not there's winds groups that have back ensembles, like full percussion back ensembles, and then there's a lot of groups just use a backing track, and it's fantastic. Joey, I know you guys do you guys use a back ensemble, or?
No, we don't. We have we use a local hip hop producer here in Raleigh that makes some pretty fire beats for us.
Dude, this is way cooler than color guard or percussion. No one talks about winds this way and actually explains it for what it is, being a more like creatively open division in which people can compete in WGI. That's super interesting, man. Now I'm excited to see what it shapes into over years. Cause like, I think for people that are less involved in winds, there's a bit of an impression of like, it's undercooked a little bit, or it's still on the come up, and people don't understand what it is and why it is perhaps so loose. It's loose to not stifle creativity. That's really cool.
Yeah, I would say we missed. So like, there's not a lot of rules. There is one rule that you need 5 winds players on the floor. We missed our opportunity to hire Kenny G to come out and play for 7 minutes and have a dance team run around.
So wait, is there an age out?
No age out.
No age out.
No age out. We were thinking of bringing Rihanna out for finals, but it's a lot of money.
It's crazy you say that. She also is an avid listener of the show, so I'll DM her after and tell her that she should come out with you guys.
Riri, we need you for our closer. Come out.
Awesome. That's so cool. Well, that was cool. Thank you guys for sharing that with me, because I honestly didn't know all that about like the rules and how the competitive landscape of winds works. That makes me way more excited to see more of it over the next couple of years. But bring it back to the first question, Austin. Do you got a group you're excited to see live in Dayton this week?
You know, after what Joey said about Eva, I've got to pop in. And I've got to pop in and see their show. I really do. On the wind side, I got to see Eva. I think you guys are an independent open, yeah?
Yep.
Nice. Definitely looking forward to that. Percussion side, I haven't seen too much. I got to see all the Florida groups last night. Infinity was phenomenal. Just completely beautiful show, front to back. But I've always been in the percussion world. I've always been a Music City Mystique fan. I don't know anything about what anyone's doing this year, because I've just been so focused in the winds realm. But I've always been a Music City Mystique fan. They always like to push the envelope in everything that they do. They've been kind of like the pioneer of the percussion activity, and they just continue to do so. Another group that I really want to see, I'm very good friends with the Paradigm people. They've really forged an identity over the past couple of years, and I really want to see where they run with it. And I know they're doing like the dog show. And it's super straightforward. It's super like, I don't want to use the word cheesy, but it's like, it's in your face. And they're like, this is what we're doing. Here we go. And they drum well. Everything's designed great. And they've kind of been on a tear the past couple of years. And I've really, really enjoyed all their products since COVID.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I think that's kind of local to me. Is that in like the Maryland area?
No, they're in North Carolina. That's where I'm originally from.
Okay. My bad. I know it was East Coast somewhere. And I'm from up near Philly. Cool. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. MCM show this year, I know is one that I haven't gotten to look too closely at yet, but it's like a little bit out of their normal, because I think they're going down more of like a hip hop and like urban aesthetic a little bit for their program this year, which is like a little bit out of what I usually just get, like very intense shows from MCM. So
yeah. I'm loving what MCM is doing this season. I have a good amount of good friends that I marched with in DCI that are there, and I'm into it. It is so cool. I don't know if you guys have seen their show, but there's like a section of it where it's like extended silence. And I think it's this is something that you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's from, or like a tribute to the one piece that's like 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. That piece, I forget who it's by. I'm not I guess I'm not a good enough music nerd, but I know. And then they just like scream. And I know that sounds so odd, but it is just so beautiful. Like it gives you goosebumps, and it makes you just like, it draws you in. And I'm loving what they're doing. I'm a fun ensemble person, and their pit is always just incredible. So it's a pleasure. We were able to see them in Atlanta, and I was able to stand next to some people that I got to march with, and it was awesome. They're super cool.
Nice. Yeah, it's funny you say Atlanta. It brings me towards the group that I'm going to hop out there and say I'm excited about. AQ's baseline, man, it's just always something crazy.
They are just so good. I was just, and that's so funny you say that. I was just talking about that with some of my friends, and we were like, oh my gosh, and they knock it out of the park every year. Their baseline is stunning.
Yeah.
It's
They just
awesome.
have like a real culture of excellence. I'm real good friends with someone who was there. He was like a 6-year vet of Quest or something stupid. And he was like the bass section leader for like the last 3 or 4 years that he was there. So like he was a big part of bringing that entity to be what it is, you know? So it's so cool to me to see them actually like, he's long since aged out. He's not associated. They're just like they're building on that legacy of great bass drumming. So if you're in the lot and you see Atlanta Quest, you need to go listen to their bass line. It's honestly probably one of the coolest things that's going to happen in the lot on Saturday. All right, let's get out to that lot. Actually, we're going to pop by for a little commercial, but you can come find me in the tent in about 2 minutes for our next segment.
Hey, this is Christine Ream
and Chris Green.
Guard Closet was founded as a consignment business in 2000. Since then, it has grown to include winter guard, band, percussion, and other genres.
We can help you with custom flag and costuming designs.
Our consignment inventory has plenty of great looks for your color guard, drumline, and marching band.
Pay it forward. When you purchase consignment, you help other programs. Last year, we sold over 400 sets of consignments and returned over $125,000 in payments to our consigners for their sales.
Additionally, Guard Closet offers custom and pre-designed costumes, flags, floors, and formal wear, full or partial show writing, educational programming, and other services.
Max out your rehearsal time and set up a microsite for easy student ordering for shoes, gloves, and other equipment.
The Guard Closet team is here to help you get everything you want and need for your season. Check us out at guardcloset.com and follow us on social media.
All right, everyone, it is that time in the week. We're going to go off against something in the marching arts that bugs us. I know I've got a thing or two about the end of the year, around the end of Dayton time, that I might do a little different than what I've learned, but let's get into it here. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
God, I will never get tired of that intro sound with Trish. It's so funny to me every time.
And fun fact, Trish got to hang out with the arranger all weekend at WGI. So like, he is like, the rhythm was just perfect. I had to use it. Anyway, go ahead.
I love that. All right, Callie, do you got something?
Yeah, I was trying to rack my brain when I was thinking about this, because like when I go into Dayton, it's just like, I'm not thinking about anybody but, just my ensemble, I'm thinking about like, what can we do to just be better, and mine is really silly, but when I get bugged, and this is just about like preparedness, I need people to bring chapstick. Now, I know that sounds silly, okay, but as someone who's been to Dayton, a million times, and someone who's from the South, it's very, very humid here. And when we pull up, I've got all my itty bitty friends who, they've only done it. They've never been to Dayton before. And I'm like, bring chapstick. And they're like, bring chapstick. And I'm like, bro, you need chapstick. You're going to dry out. And they never believe me. And then they use up all my chapstick. And I know that's so silly, but it is real. So anybody listening who's never been to Dayton before, you're gonna need it. Just trust me.
That's funny. I've never considered it, because for me it's like I'm from the Northeast, so I go a little bit over to Dayton. It feels the same, but I've always figured if you're in Florida or you're California, then you like go up to Dayton, and some years it's like 40 degrees and raining or snowing.
Yes, it is such a shock. It's such a shock. I always tell them, like, bring layers, bring chapstick, and bring hand lotion. And they're like, why? I've never used it in my life. I'm like, you're going to need it. I promise. You're going to need it.
Yeah, no, that is a good pro tip. That's one that I maybe also need to take into consideration. Joey, do you got anything for us?
Similar to Callie, I was really trying to rack my brain, and I think just based off of last weekend and how things shook out competitively, my big what are we doing is why are we paying so much attention to the I mean, like, I think it's cool to see where everybody's at, and that's a cool thing, but why are we paying so much attention and putting so much weight on the drum rank stuff? Like, I mean, like last week, just based off of the color guard scores and the seating stuff and everything, it really did not shake out like everybody thought going into the week. So, I mean, I feel like it's the same way every year, that kids either get their hopes up or kids go into it with this preconceived notion that's like, oh, we're not even going to make semis, so we just have to make this the best whatever. And so I think it puts like a negative hue on some of these young kids, and I just wish, while I think it's cool to know where everybody's at, I think putting that much weight on it does not set us up for success. And so that's my big, well, what are we doing, is why, like Callie said, like, you just got to focus on you, and that there's no defense in this activity. It's you go out there and you give your best performance, and at the end of the day, you get it immortalized on a video, and that's what matters. Like, the medals are cool, all those things. I would tell you right now, my medals are in a sock drawer. Like it doesn't do, it's not anything. It's about the love of the activity, and I just wish we paid less attention to those things.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's definitely something resonant about, like, all my medals are in a drawer somewhere, and I don't even remember what drawer it is. Like, it's you come to find as you get older, it's not necessarily about that. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Austin, what do you got for us?
What are we doing not savoring the last week with our teammates? That's the biggest one for me. We always, I mean, at least when I was performing, it's like, oh, we're pushing the end. Regardless of what happens during the season, you're never going to be with that specific group of people again. So savor those moments with your teammates, with your staff, with everyone in your organization, and don't try to the push to the end is so important. But it's so important to just slow down and just take it all in and be like, just reflect back on what you did. Be like, we've come so far since November, December, January. And we've all built lifelong friendships with a lot of these people. Like, Callie, I'm sure some of your best friends are standing right next to you in the front ensemble. And Joey, people you've marched with, I'm sure you're in their weddings, and Steven, same thing. We honestly just have to savor the time that we have with them, because you're never going to be with that same group of people again. And it's so, so important to just take it all in and take it for what it is and enjoy your time at the end, rather than just push and be like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah,
slow down.
Absolutely.
That's all we want to do.
Is because you still got those friends. You have those friends forever, like you're saying, but you don't have this experience with them forever. So take that time and savor it while you're doing it. My what are we doing for this week? I honestly don't know if you guys will agree with me, but I feel like sometimes we're not preparing our students as best as we can when we just tell them that Dayton is like any other competition. And what we need to go today is just go out here, and nothing's different, guys. We need to do the same thing we do all the time. It's almost like you're gaslighting your students' anxiety about performance, where you're just like trying to act like this is not different. It's clearly different. There's clearly dialed up pressure. I think that, like, one of my best educators ever in my age out season at X, he was telling us for like the entire last 6 weeks of the season that we need to like confront every single rep during the rep that this is about to end. Like, you need to put yourself in your finals rep, especially like the age outs, and think like, yeah, I'm done. I'm aging out. This is done. Because if you don't actually confront all these emotions before your finals rep, you're going to get out there and you're going to get hit by a wall of emotion during your finals rep that's going to make you tick. like, to me, I think the best thing maybe we could do for our students in this last week is like, be really direct, be really blunt, try to get them to really feel the emotions of the fact that this is going to end, and do anything you can to get them to feel that prior to when they go out there and do their final rep. Because I think in a lot of the time, a lot of instructors will just try to just pretend it's not real, pretend we're not out here, not doing this again after, today. Maybe a more mature way to get a good finals rep is to just face those emotions head on throughout the week. All right. Well,
I agree with you.
What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to say I agree with you, man. Like, I think it's hard. It's hard to navigate those last couple rehearsals. You have to kind of sometimes weigh, like, do I clean X to the end, or do we work on this section and just get comfortable? Do we get into the nitty gritty and clean XYZ, or do I put the member experience first and just have a good time, and then do we say, like, hey, when you're in Dayton, this is going to happen. We get to the top of the tunnel, your heart's going to be racing. We've got to practice breathing. We've got to practice XYZ. When they say go and it's time to get on the floor, there's going to be a rush of emotion. And so, like, if you're not practicing doing that, then you really aren't setting up your students for success. And so I think there's a lot of validity to what you said.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as someone who this is my last time, I'm aging out. And I've been there many, many times. Like, something that I think we do really well at Infinity is where I've done the majority of my marching career, is doing that preparation. We have discussions about the biggest thing that I try to instill in the members of the pit, and that I notice that my educators try to instill in us. I have awesome people in front of me. I've got Matt Albano. I've got, Mike Hansen, Mitchell Beckman, people who are just doing incredible things. But something they really try to instill in us is that when you finish and you do, for us, we do like one final little, go below our keyboards type thing, is to really like look at the crowd, and understand that those people are here to see you. It was just so cool, and not something that you're going to really ever experience again in your life. Take that in. And I always say to them, like take a mental picture, and understand that that's something that's fleeting, and you got to take it in. So yeah, I totally agree. It's not the same. It's not the same as your circuit championship. It's not the same as your, home show. It's completely different. And that's a good thing. That's the whole reason we go. It's exciting, Yeah.
Yeah. I want to tack on to what you were saying about taking in that moment with the audience. On our logistics coordination sheet for the ensemble at United, the last 5 seconds of performance before we get off the floor are literally called bask in the glory of performance. Like, they just want us to sit there and just enjoy everyone clapping for you. Be there. Don't rush off the floor immediately. Just take that in for like 5 seconds and then go. All right. Well, I think on that note, it's time to get into our gush and goes for the week. This week, we're going to gush and go on about some of our favorite things in Dayton, Ohio, or just at WGI Championships. So, Austin, what do you got to gush and go on about in Dayton?
Great job, everyone. Set your equipment down. Gush and go.
I'm gushing and going. Oh goodness, this is only going to be my third time in Dayton, so I'm pretty new. I'm pretty new at this. I'm gushing and going the Thursday night. For those of you who aren't going to be at percussion prelims, there is a wins exhibition kind of preview at Miamisburg High School in Miamisburg, Ohio. Absolutely, come check it out. It's a great opportunity just to have just pure performance. We want to pack that gym full of not just the other wins teams and their parents, but we want other people to come in and just kind of take in the wins activity for what it is, so that you're like, oh, this is great, and then you can show up on Saturday and show up on Sunday to Truist and then UD respectively, just so we can. It's a great time. It's a great atmosphere. It's very chill. We have a great time. The kids are all super excited about it. It's personally my favorite event of the entire year. because there's no pressure. We just go in and we get to cheer everybody else on and actually get to sit down and watch other Winds teams do what they know how to do best.
Nice. Yeah, definitely got to go out there. Could you remind our audience again where and when that performance is?
Yes, that's going to be on Thursday, let's see, what date is that? The 18th, Miamisburg High School at, I think, 6 p.m. is when that starts.
Awesome.
So just down the street from Dayton. I think it's about 20 minutes south, 30 minutes south of the arena at most. Miamisburg High School, 6 p.m. Thursday the 18th. Be there.
Awesome. Be there. Do it. Cool. Callie, what are you gushing and going on about this week?
Yeah, I'm super excited for the lots, and not just like the watching the groups perform, but personally, it's seeing all those people that I don't get to see throughout the year, that I made, like we were talking about, lifelong friendships with during DCI, and just like running up to them and seeing them, giving them big hugs, taking pictures, basking in the glory of performance and of the relationships that we make in this activity. I'm so excited. I'm excited to see all those people, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. I have some friends traveling down who did the activity a couple years ago. People traveling up with us. I'm just so excited to see everybody. I'm excited. I'm in it for the people. Obviously, I'm in it for the competition and the performance, but a big part of it is the people. So super, super excited about that. I'm gushing already.
Yeah, I can't wait. It kills me that I'm here. I got one day of work sandwiched between my last weekend and my my trip out to Dayton. I'm so excited.
It's so hard, but you'll be there in no time. It's going to be awesome.
We are almost there for sure. And Joey, what do you want to gush and go on about?
So this is, I think, my 11th week of going to Dayton, and I've gone and had a Thursday run, and that was the end of the weekend for me. And I've gone and had a Saturday and had no time to do anything. There's tons to do in Dayton. There's Hoagie's Pizza, Grater's Ice Cream. At Grater's Ice Cream, you can get a freaking koozie for your pint of ice cream. Take your kids there. Get some pizza. Get some grub. There's a cool art museum if you're just trying to find something to do on Saturday before finals. There's this cool firehouse restaurant just up the street from UD. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it. Maybe you know what? Forget it. Like headquarters is cool for designers as instructors to go and meet up at the end of the end of the season and just get to shake hands with people that you normally don't get to be around. I'm gonna tag on to say I'm trying to gush and go right now. I'm trying to tag on to what Callie said and the Bargos, let's go. I'm trying to.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, the lot is it's like the show before the show, and it's almost like a reunion at some sorts, and so getting to see friends I marched with 12 years ago, and getting and just bringing us all back to that moment and seeing just how supportive the activity actually is. It is competitive, and there is drama, and there's fights, and there's XYZ, but that all goes away, Friday night, Saturday night in the lot, and you just see it's the circus is in town, man. The tents are up, and it's so cool to see everybody's shows. Like there's so much to do, and there's so much to be proud of and to feel a part of that. Those are the things I'm excited for. So whether Thursday is our last run and I have to wait till Saturday for the win stuff, or we take it all the way in, there's always something to do, and there's Dayton is a beautiful place to be around, especially when the circus is in town.
Yes, the circus is in town is exactly the right way to put it, man. It's got to be weird if you're a Dayton local and you don't know anything about band, and then you just see the world coalesce around your city for like 2 weeks. But,
the Uber drivers are like, "Oh, you here for the band thing?" Yeah. we take a lot of people to XYZ. They're loud, and I go, "Yeah, we're just really excited to do band together."
They're a little loud, yeah, I would say so. Cool. Yeah, and I'm tacking on here with a very similar message, I guess. I got a couple places I'll probably be. If I'm not at rehearsal, you might find me at Bargos, or in the same parking lot. There's a bar that's a little less known called Poorhouse. They've got some good food, good bartenders too, good people over there. If you are a band director who is looking to go get a meal after your performance. But yeah, it's a great time, man. You should go out to headquarters, go out to Bargo's. At the very least, just do stuff with your friends, enjoy all the shows, check out the tent, check out the lower performing groups too. It's not all just about the world-class lines. But more than anything, just have fun. It's like our Christmas week for us band people. It's like, it's funny you said 11th. I'm pretty sure this is also my 11th year going out. Did you go out for the first time in 2013?
The first time I was out, I think, was 2011, maybe. It was right. It was either my senior year or the year after. Maybe it was 2012. But I for a little bit I swapped between guard and drums, and then as things have kind of grown, and now I have groups in every idiom. It's sometimes you got to be out there for both weeks, and it gets crazy.
It gets crazy. I could only imagine, man.
It's called Gush and Go, not Gush and Stay. Let's go.
Awesome. Well, thank you for a great rehearsal this week, everyone. Thank you to our hosts, Austin, Callie, and Joey. Thank you. Where could they find you, Joey?
I'm Joey Montes 57 on all my social media, and on Facebook, I'm Jose Antonio Montes III.
All right. Go check him out. Go follow Joey. Callie, what about you?
Yeah, you can find me on all of my socials. It's CNQUIRE. I'm on Facebook as Callie Quire, and yeah, that's it.
And what about Austin? Where could they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Austin_Hall10. Just search me up any social media, and then obviously Austin Hall on Facebook. That's where you can find me.
Cool. And let's review real quick too the groups that we're all performing with or teaching and stuff like that. That way, maybe people, if they see our groups, they'll know. Hey, I was listening to those guys. So, Joey, what ensembles do you have going out this weekend?
So I'm coming on as the winds person, so I'm gonna try and keep it all winds. I come out to Kentucky on Saturday. I've got Corinth Holders Open, Scholastic Open. They go in at 12:10, I believe, and then I've got Eva Independent Winds. They're an open class as well. On the independent side, we go on at 2:10.
All right, nice. Yeah, go check that out. Check out with Winds. Callie.
Yeah, I'm with Infinity Percussion World. I believe we perform sometime around 4:30 on Thursday. I'm gonna be real with you; it's gonna be a little bit of a blur for me. Just getting there on the bus, But yeah, so I'm with them, and you can also check out our other two groups. We've got Infinity 2 Percussion; they are also world class this season, and then Infinity 3, they are open class. So if you're interested in those other groups, you can go ahead and check them out. But I'm with Infinity World.
Awesome. And Austin, what groups are you checking out or going out with?
I am with Horizon Winds, Independent World Class. We are on last at Truist Arena on Saturday. I think it's somewhere around 5:30, 6 p.m., but we are on the very last unit. Pack those stands out and look for the guys wearing pink. You can't miss them.
Nice. Well, good. Check out Horizon. And then I am teaching United Percussion. I am the worst in that I have no clue what time on Saturday we go on. But you will find us at the UD Arena for Percussion Independent World Prelims on Thursday. Definitely can't wait to see all the groups that you guys teach. This is going to be an awesome week. So one more thing, don't forget we have our YouTube channel now. It's got many of our interviews coming out, as well as some full video editions of certain interviews. So go subscribe, make sure you don't miss those. And before you close out your podcast listening app, please leave us a review, subscribe, share it with a friend. We love seeing any review on our show, and we read all of them and share them in our little group text. We share them with each other. Like, we want to hear what you have to say. So follow us on social media at On a Water Break, and we will see you at the next rehearsal on a water break.
Go practice.
The On a Water Break podcast was produced by Jeremy Williams and Christine Ream. The intro and outro music was produced by Josh Lyda. To learn more, visit lydamusic.com. And until next time, thanks for tuning in.